Yes, I am sure. Working on your live stream. Okay.
Okay.
It says we're live. Your stream will
As
start.
we're live, so it'll be a few minutes late or a minute or something, but we'll be
Yes.
live, so people can possibly already hear us,
Yes,
I
I'm gonna
guess.
start on the. Whoopsie. I forgot to put on the start screen. Oh. I have this wonderful start screen. So, and nobody saw that. And we can cut that. So, this is it basically. Now, story time with Psycho and Plastic. I'm gonna put on
Ah,
a.
there it is. Yeah. Good
Yes.
evening, everyone.
Yes. Good evening. Good evening. Buonasera, señorita. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dann mache ich jetzt mal den Timer, den starte ich, okay?
Yeah, we're
Alright.
live.
Let's do it. Yes, hello. Here we are. You are there. We are here. Thomas in Pankow. I'm in Schöneberg. We're in Berlin. Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. Joining the Psychoblastic story time. We do another try. I don't know. This is very unusual for us. Basically, this is a new forward. We're testing a format. We're testing out because we are trying to open up a space for conversation and to create like community around everything that we do, and that has a particular reason. And I think Thomas knows that reason and wants to tell us what's that.
Yes, I'll try and disclose the reason in a few words. In our usual pre-corona lives, we'd get conversations and community through playing live mainly and meeting people, also teaching. And for a few months now, this has not been possible. And obviously, we miss it a lot. And we're looking for a new way to kind of integrate that back into what we do. And somehow, neither Alexandre nor I have ever felt comfortable with the whole concept of doing like live concerts or like
No.
live music streams on the net. You can see that we sometimes still struggle with this format, which is technologically a lot easier. And we've decided because we are so involved in composing, producing, and releasing music, we decided that that's how we want to spread our music. We've already released an album a few weeks ago called Placid House that we made in this situation, kind of like this, going back and forth on video chats and stuff. And that's why we are looking for a different way of basically reaching out and conversing with each other and with you, hopefully, in the future, if this works well. So, yeah, I just mentioned the album, and whoever has seen it, listened to it already might notice something familiar in the background where Alex is. And maybe, Alex, you want to take over from there again.
I do. Well, we called this story time, so we thought we want to share stories. So, talking about the album, we thought it's a nice story to share how we found this cover because here in the background we see a print, and that's the base of our cover. And when Thomas and I were both self-isolating and contemplating on how to return to work together, it was clear how we would do that. And while we had that very conversation, I was looking at this very print. That was a Christmas present of Giorgio Roof. It's an 11-year-old friend of ours. Well, the son of it. Well, it's a friend of mine now. By now, we somehow through this process of and hanging out, we Giorgio. Hello, Giorgio. Maybe you're not watching. I guess you're not. Maybe it's bedtime. I don't know. Well, basically, he gave us this for Christmas, and I was looking at it, and it somehow really described everything that we were talking about. Because Thomas and I initially had a very different, no, not very different, but a more specific. Like we both agreed on a very like we had a working title, a very strong working title, which we may explore in another story time. Because story time is about short stories, which is incredibly super hard for Thomas and I because we talk a lot. Like it's super easy for us to make music together, and so it's also very easy for us to talk together. So this is our challenge to limit ourselves and our stories to a 5 minutes format, and maybe be entertaining and create community, and maybe feature also like your stories from the album, like, or some stories anybody who's out there experiences with it. Um, we have some ideas how to continue. I think, well, let's talk about that.
Exactly. We wanted to make today a little introduction and basically try everything out and tell you all about this new format that we're trying to establish. And going forward, we're hoping to share various stories, maybe shed some light on certain topics that maybe you want to know about. If you know questions already or you have things that interest you, you can let us know in the comments or send us a message. And for the next one, next week probably, we will start with like something we've already come up with, to you who we've been working with recently, and sometimes prominently, sometimes a bit more in the background. And we'll start with Claire, who goes by the name of Alice when she does her video art and VJ art. And she's the person who did an amazing job on the visual mixtape that
Love it, love it.
we streamed for the album release of Placid House. So next time she will be joining us, and we'll talk about what she did there.
Hey Claire,
So
if
if
you're
you have
watching.
questions for her, let us know. If you have questions or topics for us, let us know. And if not, that's okay, because we have the next one sorted out already, and we'll ask you again then, because
Yes,
ideally we get a conversation going.
exactly. It's a room for communication. Maybe if this works, maybe we move it to Zoom and meet, make like Zoom hangouts. I don't know. All sorts of ideas. I think we hit 6 minutes marks. Of course, we had to go over the 5 minutes, but we almost made it 5 minutes, Thomas. Not too bad.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
Yes.
that's a first.
Excellent. So shall we call this a wrap? What do you think?
So, yes, let's call this a wrap. Have a
Okay.
good evening, everyone, or whatever time of day it is in your place.
Exactly.
And
Thanks for
see you next
tuning
time.
in. See you next time. We'll
And
let you know on our
use
Facebook and
use
Insta.
common.
Yeah, exactly. And also listen to Placid House. Find Placid House anywhere you can. Tell your friends about it. It, yeah, it makes our day to listen and spread our music.
It'll make you yours.
Exactly. Much more important. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye. Stop this stream.